Philadelphia is known for having some very vocal fans, and nearly 70,000 of them are letting their voices be heard already. Welcome inside Lincoln Financial Field. Here's Graham Gano after the opening kick. And we're underway from Philadelphia. We'll bring it out from a couple yards deep. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Achan. And he found some running room for a nice gain. The dose of the hurry-up offense here. Second down carry for Achan. And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. Audio Karake making that stop. No gain on 2nd down, and they need 2 here on 3rd.
As that linebacker makes that tackle right in the middle of the field, all I'm thinking about right now, Kate's training camp. Because that's the middle drill right there. That is textbook. What you do in training camp, coming to life when it matters.
And he didn't get enough into that throw. That's low and incomplete, so they're going to be facing 4th down coming up. First time this game they've looked to him. And it's 4th and short. We'll see if they go for it. He throws a bullet. Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Adoree Jackson makes the play. And the Giants have an early opportunity. After the interception on the game's first series. Wow, what an exciting start to this game, Brock. Apologies to the former QB and you. It's not an opening drive touchdown, but an interception instead.
Yeah, exciting for one side. That would be the defense. Demoralizing for the other side as an offense. First salvo, listen, it goes to the defense. That really sets the stage for what I love and what you love, Kate. In this game of adjustments, in the game of back and forth, who's going to respond next?
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Here's Locke to the air. Neighbors with the catch. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
I feel so bad. I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today. Because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
He put some juice on a deep throw down the middle.
The offense not shy about sending him downfield to try and stretch that secondary. Even still, one of the deeper targets you'll see him get. It's a shame they couldn't find a connection.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. The Giants using their first time out. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend. Third down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4. Here's Locke. He's got it to his running back. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Oh, so close to getting off the field. But the 4th down conversion keeps that defense out there. That was their shot to end this possession. Sit on the bench to get their breath. Now they're going to have to buckle down and force another 4th down.
That'll take him down right along the 30.
That That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down, well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And third and short in your back pocket, and get even more aggressive and take that shot.
And he's tackled with a first down yardage.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
They motion the tight end over. Lock to throw it. The throw left side finds Johnson. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. All right, still scoreless through one quarter, but that looks like it's going to change. Second quarter about to get underway, and an opportunity to score here for the Giants. They'll run it with Devin Singletary. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
The throw is caught. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, he'll throw. Into the hands of Neighbors. And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain. So not a holding call. One of the linemen actually too far downfield that time. That's what drew the flag. All right, here we go. 2nd down. They'll run here following the penalty. And he only gets this one down to the 9. Only a couple yards there, and now it's 3rd and 7.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
It's the 2-minute warning now from the link. The Giants looking for a score before halftime. Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. They've got a man in motion. 3rd down from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen guys, it's going to be contested. We know it's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
To throw, here's Locke. Throw is caught by the back. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. Might be trying to power this across, Brock. They've got 3 tight ends out there. It's 1st and goal. Tracy. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
They kick the running back in motion. That grabs it. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
That just might be a throw he regretted as soon as you let it go. I know that feeling. He was doing all he could to find a completion down the field, but they were all over that check down, ready to turn it into a negative play.
Buckle up. It's 3rd and goal. Locked down. And that's a New York touchdown. Graham Gano to tack on the extra point. Right down the middle. It's good. And they add one on to their first touchdown of the contest. You know, ready to send this away. His own end zone. Here we go. This isn't even going to make the 20. The coverage team gets to him. Last drive of the half isn't going to be long. 14 seconds remaining. On first down, here's Tagovailoa. He's loaded another one up. And that is incomplete. 8 seconds left now.
That was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Looking to throw. Catches made down the outside line. And he's down after getting this up to the 41. All right, this is going to be the play that takes us to halftime. Looking to throw. Gets everything he has under this throw. And somehow they reach the end zone with no time remaining in the half. So late in the half, Brock, why not take a shot downfield? And their prayers are answered as they come up with that late touchdown.
You know, this is just a case of who wants it more. If you're in that secondary, all you're thinking is knock the ball down.
Yeah.
Even if you make some contact, right, they rarely call pass interference on plays like that. But somehow, some way, the ball winds up as a touchdown.
That one splits the uprights. And the Dolphins tie this game 7-7. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. Something's got to be the difference maker here in half number 2. We'll see what it is as we're up and running once again. Dory Jackson now to return it. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. They're out and set. First and 10. They go play action here. Connects with Johnson. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Jalen Phillips finishing that play off. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 31. Gets this to Johnson. 16 yards on the play. And it's good enough for a New York first down. Takes the handoff, now to throw. On the left side. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. They have themselves another first and 10. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Completed to his running back. And that's good for a gain of 5. Hit applied by Bradley Chubb. Back to the line they go. It's second down. They're going play action. That's knocked away by a defender. Incomplete. Malik Neighbors the one he was throwing for. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. Block looking to throw. He finds Slayton. And he's tackled for a short gain.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, you need to make a play in the open field. Keep it short like that, you promise you some money will follow.
And that run won't come close. That's a turnover on downs.
And what a battle of wills we just got to see. Fighting in the trenches on a fourth down run. Trying to play conservative, keep it on the ground to power it across. But there was no overcoming a front, just as equally motivated to get off the field.
The Dolphins in pretty good field position here as they come up 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run by A-Chan. They're working a couple of yards past the line. Bobby Okereke making that stop. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. A-Chan again on second. He's contained at the line for no gain. Bobby Okereke making that stop. Working quickly here. Throwing, here's Tagovailoa on 3rd. Escapes the pocket. So no mistaking that play call, Brock. They send everybody on deep goes, and it winds up paying off. What a play.
And you'd think on the other side, defensively, they'd be ready for this. But this is truly a breakdown in the secondary. They're just not able to make a play on the ball in the air. And the end result, as you said, a big play and a touchdown.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. The point after splits the uprights. And the Dolphins break that tie and now lead by 7. Sanders all set to send it away. Jackson now to return it. He doesn't make it far at all. They bottle up that return immediately.
Well, that's the case of either overthinking things or somehow not thinking enough on that kickoff return. You got to think the 20-yard line is worst case. Instead, the coverage team sticks them with a really long field ahead.
They go play action on 1st. He finds Johnson. And he gets a small chunk there before he's touched down.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
So we hit the end of the 3rd quarter. It's Giants football. They're on a mission here. They trail entering the 4th. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Throwing now off play action. Taken in by Bellinger. And he's going to be brought down after getting this up to the 22. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps these drive moving. Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Throwing off the play fake here. Has his man, it's Tracy. Giving him even 10 yards on the play. And the Giants will have a 1st down. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Here's Luck to the air. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Jordan Brooks comes up with it. And the Dolphins are going to have it back, and it's marked at the 38. Well, we all know, Brock, those slot guys start piling up receptions, and that makes them a priority target for the defense.
Yep.
They kept someone nearby, and they pick off that check down.
If a play breaks down in today's football, like back in my day, last century, you checked down the running back. That's not the case anymore. These slot receivers, well, they're as big a security blanket as running backs are, but the defenses, to your point, Kate, they figured it out too. And that defense, well, they didn't just figure it out in their head. They went out and executed with their bodies to take it away.
And he'll be out of bounds just a yard or two short at 25. All right, Chan with the touchdown. So great work by the running back there, Brock. Found just a little bit of space, and he took advantage all the way for 6.
Big time. I mean, so big time. You know, and you hear running back coaches, Kate, say this. They'll say slow to explode through. And he explodes all the way for the touchdown.
Dolphins leaving the offense out there as they try for a 2-point conversion.
Ready. Ready to stand.
They'll try it on the ground. And right back into the end zone he goes. So one play, it's a touchdown. Then the next for 2, and he's extending their lead. Sanders all set to send it away. Return coming from the 14. He's stopped on the return at the 27. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. He's got him. That's Tracy. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made... out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory.
Let's go now.
Putting the tight end in motion. Throwing his lock. Ran it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Lock. And that one's incomplete. For now, he brings up 4th. Let's see what this penalty flag is all about. A fresh set of downs after that penalty. Here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll throw. Able to hit Robinson, complete. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 36. It's caught right side by Johnson. They touch him down as he finds enough to pick up the 1st. Throwing it again here. He's throwing deep to the left side. And now throwing to Vasquez. It's intercepted. Picked up. Kendall Fuller. And the Dolphins get the football just short of their 20 after the interception and return. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Oh, look at this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pavement.
That one right down the middle. And the Dolphins grow the lead now to 22 points. Sanders all set to send it away. Has this at the 6. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Oh, no, they did it again. And the Dolphins are going to get the football inside the enemy 40. Oh, man, Brock, somebody, those other leaders on that sideline, they've got to sit him down and calm him down. 3 consecutive drives now where he's thrown an interception.
Yeah, this defense is just all over him, seeing every throw, anticipating these routes before they're even run. When he's dropping back to throw, and I know this.
And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. The Giants using their first timeout as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down.
You're just not going to win many games in this league when you can't generate a pass rush until the 4th quarter. You needed to feel the impact from this defense earlier and more often in this game. The lack thereof was a big part of what's put them playing from behind in the final stanza of this one.
Wow, they're going to pass it here. Oh, put some heat on this. He's got it inside the 10. And he'll be touched down after a big play. Timeout calls, and that's going to be the 2nd for New York. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. From the red zone now. He rolls to his... Oh, no touchdown. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tyler Newman.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Throwing from his own end zone. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught. This one misses the tight end. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. Throwing again from their own end zone now. Into the hands of Wilson. And he's brought down up at the 6-yard line. The Giants are going to call their final timeout here. Looking at a tough spot to punt it away if this 3rd down is unsuccessful. Lock to throw it. He's got it deep downfield. Now the Dolphins call a timeout. It's their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Gets this to Johnson. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. Football on that 47-yard line. 1st down. snap off. Must have lost sight of the play clock there, Brock, because the quarterback could have snapped it in time, but instead, they take the penalty. So things getting a bit tougher following that penalty. We've got 2nd and 15. Brock looking to throw. Oh, Bravo hits another interception. Jalen Ramsey comes up with it. And the Dolphins take over once again after forcing his 4th interception of the night.
I know he started to play as a defender, but gosh, he looked good, didn't he? Running it back, he looked like a receiver navigating on that return. The way he saw the field, he evaded obstacles, and he chewed up yardage in the open space. It'll make those offensive coaches and teammates proud. We've seen defensive players get touches.
Big game downfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Miami. The Dolphins put up even more points in a win. Tyreek Hill the touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. That one splits the uprights. And the Dolphins grow their lead yet again. Sanders all set to send it away. Jackson now to return it. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. That'll be incomplete, and the clock shows 10 seconds left.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Here's Locke. And there's our last stand image of this game. It's intercepted. Jalen Ramsey comes up with it. And the Dolphins make one of their best plays at the end, coming up with the interception on our final snap of the game. So in the end, it's a Dolphins win here. And it's not quite a full game shutout, Brock, but keeping that other side off the board in the second half, that sure went a long way towards securing them this win. Made things a lot easier for
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us down south to Mercedes-Benz Stadium on the west side of downtown Atlanta. About set for football. The crowd is definitely ready. So are we. Off we go on EA Sports. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. First carry for Saquon Barkley. And it's a positive start. A gain of 5 to get things going. They'll come up here on second down and 5. To throw is Hurts. And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him. What can they do here on third down and 7? The Jags will use the first of their timeouts here. Here's third and 7. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on first and second down, like living in these third and long situations. Must pass is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
What a call on this opening drive. They're going to go for it on fourth down. They're indeed going. It's Hurts. That's complete. And he's going to have an Eagles first down. They'll get the conversion. It's a gain of 14.
Well, you can see the entire sideline and, frankly, the entire fan base kind of holding their breath. That decision on your own side of midfield to go for it on fourth down. Had they not gotten it, it's a tough position to put your defense in, but that's a conversation for another day. The offense is going to stay on the field after the conversion, and now they got to see, can they take advantage of it?
The speed on display. He's in. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown, Eagles. Terrific way, Greg, to get this game started. Able to get the opening touchdown and do it with a long run.
Mike, anytime you can create explosive plays in the run game, you're definitely going to take it. And they're going to be able to build on those plays as the rest of this game moves along.
Jake Elliott now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Eagles will take a 7-0 lead. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Safe kick taken at the 5. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field. So they come to the line for first down and 10. The tight end, Ingram, is on the move. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
These edge rushers, they are judged by their sack totals, Mike. They love to rush the passer. But they have responsibilities in the run game as well. Great job here, keeping it to no gain.
They'll try again here, second and 10. Gun, it's Jones. There's a short one taken by Ingram. They'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
So you come back out here after watching the opposing team score first, and what you want to do is you got to establish a little early rhythm and get the drive started. Get a little positive energy into that huddle, and what hopefully starts out good ends with you being able to get some points of your own.
They will not get this one off. It'll be a delay of game. They send the tight end in motion. To throw. It's Jones. That's into the hands of Travis Etienne.
It brings a defense when you have cornerbacks that are such willing tacklers. It just brings an extra element to the ability to defend the entire field. And this is a great example here why.
2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Jones. As he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down.
Here we go. 11.
Again, it's Jones. He'll let this one go. Deep for 10. This is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. 21. They do go for it. It's Jones. He's going to look downfield once again.
Times where you have to go for it on your side of the field. I'm just not sure if at this point in the game, this was one.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Loose inside the 30. And a big gain out of bounds as time runs down. An exclamation point to end this 1st quarter. Chance to pay off that big play. They have it 1st and goal. For Goddard, the tight end, comes in motion. Here's Barkley. Only a yard there. Tackle made at the 5. Here comes 2nd and goal. Second down throw for Hurts. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked at the 17-yard line. So the Eagles will use their first timeout here.
It's hard to imagine where this offense found themselves just 2 plays earlier. Now after suffering 2 sacks, this 3rd and goal looks a heck of a lot different than it did not too long ago.
So backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. This ball is intercepted. Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to get the football here at their own 38-yard line.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
Jones now on 1st down. That's complete to Etienne. And they're going to get half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
Well, let's give some credit to the big boys up front in the trenches. They knew that blitz was coming. They held up just long enough that the quarterback could get that ball out safely and results in a completion.
Tight end going in motion here. He finds his tight end. That's Clinton Strain. And he'll be out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big play for Jacksonville. 31 yards. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Kirk is the motion man. Throw to the right flat. It is caught. And he can't get away. They rally to the football on defense and bring him down for no gain. They try again. It's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 11.
Again, they'll throw with Jones. He'll go right back to Kirk again. It's complete. And that'll go for a gain of 7. And it's going to set up 3rd down.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure round tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
And he pitches it. And that call will not get it done. The defense ready, stopping him behind the line of scrimmage. It sets up 4th down.
That's a great job defensively. The goal of every defense in the NFL is to accomplish one of two things. Turnovers, force field goals. In this case, the big 3rd down stop is most likely going to lead to the latter. Really nice job there in the red zone.
The field goal unit on the sideline. They'll line up to go for it on 4th down. The tight end, Ingram, is on the move. And that's going to be intercepted by Darius Slay. And the Eagles are going to have it here as they'll start from their own 7.
When you find yourself in this situation, Mike, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
3 tight ends in the game to start the drive. They do try to run it out as they start on the ground. And not much space there. Only up to about the 8. Now the Jags will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop with 17 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's a 2nd and 9. A shotgun snap down Hurts. That'll be taken in by Barkley. And he's going to be taken down up around the 24-yard line. Here's a timeout for Philadelphia. That is their 2nd as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. First and 10. To throw is Hurts. Taking off.
He tried to run all the time he could, but when he saw that space, he quickly turned from thrower to runner, and he's able to pick up a nice gain on 1st down.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Here's Hurts. That's complete to A.J. Brown. And he's going to Just the lone touchdown in that first half of action. 7-0 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando now, we're Jonathan Coachman as our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, thanks. This one's still anyone's game. We'll see who can come out with the hot hand in this second half. About to get started. Just that one touchdown on the board. 7-0 the score as the third quarter begins. From the 6, here comes a return. And he's brought down right at the 35-yard line. Kirk is the motion man. Flutters to the ground. It's incomplete. Well, fortunate there wasn't a defender right there in the area. Could have been a turnover. Instead, it brings up second down. The tight end, Ingram, is on the move. They're going to motion the tight end over here. Jones to throw on second down. He'll take a shot down the middle of the field. And he will go all the way. Travis Etienne. Touchdown, Jaguars. Cam Little comes on now for the extra point. His kick is good. And the Jaguars will level things out at 7 apiece. So back to level after the touchdown. In time for the kickoff. On the return from the end zone, here's Britton Covey. Good job in coverage. They're going to get him down short of the 20-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Man in motion is Smith. A very nice open field tackle there. He could not get free and gains nothing. Now Jalen Hurts on second down. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact drawing the ball loose and forcing third down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
On third down, here's Hurts. And that is incomplete.
The offense just couldn't seem to get anything going that drive. They knew they had a long way to go taking over possession that deep in their own territory. You want to pick up that first down and see if you can capitalize some momentum. Instead, the errant throw brings up fourth down, and they're going to have to punt it away.
On fourth down, the snap comes to Hurts. He's got his man. It's Smith. Line of scrimmage is the 31 as they line up 1st and 10. I'll run up the middle with Barkley. He'll get about 2. That's Darnell Savage up from the secondary to make the stop. Second down and 8. Now it's Hurts. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked up by Foye Oluokun.
Look, I think any time like you find second half of the ballgame, it's all hands on deck. Both teams are trying to find a way. How can I separate? How can we give our side a clear advantage? That pick right there, killing that first series of this second half, that seems like one of those separators to me. Now, this offense, as they take the field, they have to capitalize and come away with points.
Here we go, get set.
Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line.
21. Cut.
Play action now. It's Jones. That'll be intercepted. Big opening up the middle. Inside the 20. What a play by the defense in a tie game. Not only do they come up with the turnover, Greg, they score the touchdown and take the lead.
And that's just a mistake, Mike, at this point in the game that you just cannot make on offense. You find yourself in a game that could go either way, and you just gift wrap the opposing team a chance to take it back the other way and take the lead.
Elliott on now for the PAT. He gets it to go, and the Eagles will move out to a 14-7 lead. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Very good kickoff. Returnable from the 4. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Fake the handoff. Now Jones. He'll throw it left and has his running back.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
Working from the gun, it's Jones. Throw left side, taken in by Thomas. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
Just take what the defense is giving you. When you can stay ahead of the chains and just take these easy pitch-and-catch throws underneath, hitch routes, quick game, now it puts you in a lot more favorable down and distances to eventually attack this defense a little bit more downfield.
They'll try and run for the first with ETA.
Nothing real fancy about this call here, Mike, right? In this 3rd and short, just get the ball to your running back, make sure he has enough space to pick up the first down, and they're able to convert.
Here we go, get set. Flow.
Reynolds is the motion man here. So, both teams trade touchdowns in that frame as we get through the end of the 3rd quarter. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Boy, some bulk in the formation on that right side here for 1st and 10. Now, Jones. He'll let this one go. Deep for Thomas. Through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. Brian Thomas, the intended receiver. And that will lead to a 2nd down. throw is Jones. Oh, trying to set up the screen, but that is going to fall incomplete. He was trying to get it to Christian Kirk. And it's going to bring up a third down. In the gun, it's Jones. That's three. Third time tonight he's been intercepted. Picked off by Kobe Dean. And he's going to be brought down. What a turn of events here. He has given his guys 1st and 10 in the red zone.
And at this point in the game, Mike, we all know one play can be the difference between winning and losing. And now after that poor throw, we'll see. Can they capitalize on this extra possession that they just stole?
They'll run the toss to Barkley. Touchdown, Philadelphia. That his second touchdown tonight. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the fourth quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the fourth quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to throw yourself back in it.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. The return starts from the 5. Now an opening past the 30. And he'll be out of bounds on the return. And the drive will begin there. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Omaha. Shotgun now for Jones. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down. Now Jones. 17 yards on that play. That's good for a Jaguar. 1st down. Throwing, Jones. A toss left side, caught by his running back. 19 more on that one, and another 1st down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with. So
that's the 4th time tonight he's been intercepted. And the Eagles force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27-yard line.
There's not a position on the field, Mike, let alone any sport, where the mental side doesn't come in and impact how well you perform. And in this case, when you've thrown 4 interceptions in one game, I think we can all safely assume some of those mental issues have seeped into his game. And if he can't get settled down, he's playing right into the hands of his defense.
They'll start on the ground with Barkley. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line. Hurts looking to throw on 1st down. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away. And that'll set up 2nd down. third down.
Set.
2 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively. It's third down. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down. So, right out of the 2-minute break, we get a timeout used by the defense with 1:56 to go.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down, and this quarterback's paying the price for it.
And he couldn't get that one to check up. It'll keep bouncing into the end zone. It's a touchback. This is 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Down the field is Reynolds. And they'll try to save their timeouts and use them on defense if they need it. Gets up and spikes this one. They'll come up now for second down.
Here we go, get set.
To throw is Jones. This one is caught by Cook. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. A gain there of 20. That's good for a Jaguar. First down.
Here we go. 11.
On second down, here's Jones. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. He might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a third down.
Here we go. 11.
Again, they'll throw with Jones. Throw left side, taken in by Kirk. He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short, and now it's fourth down.
As a play caller, those are the plays that just drive you crazy, Mike. You think you're going to pick up the first down, you get tackled just shy of the sticks, and now a little bit of a gamble here on fourth down.
You guys know I don't ever on sides.
And here we go, 4th and inches.
Here we go, get set.
The tight end, Ingram, is on the move. That's taken in. And he's going to have the Jaguars first down as they get 4 on 4th and inches.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
Now a deep ball toward the end zone.
So, of course, you prefer to connect on that throw, but think about it like this, Mike. The more they continue to test this defense downfield, the more it's going to open up some of those shorter passes underneath.
Guys, the last 2 games, really every game, I haven't been getting my coaching suggestions because I have too many plays for my situations. I'm not getting any of my plays. I'm getting all this bullshit every game.
On play action, it's Jones. He's got it about the 8, and he'll be taken down. Brought down to 17.
I gotta try to create chicken salad out of chicken shit every game.
Drive alone. Time to change the defense. This one gets him another first down. Second and goal.
Here we go.
Here's Jones. This This one hauled in by Thomas. And he'll be brought down there, and that'll put a wrap on this one. Time has expired in this fourth quarter. So it's a win here for the Eagles. They were the aggressors from the start, able to dictate the pace of play. And in the end, they come away with the victory. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL.
Seems like I'm gonna have to go by formations again, favorites again, concepts, all that. Oh, I didn't even try defensively the last two games.
Welcome, football fans, to the birthplace of America, the city of brotherly love. The place where you'll find the best cheesesteak made in this country and some of the best football played inside of Lincoln Financial Field. Ball teed up, Logan Cook after the kick. And we're underway from Philadelphia. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. Let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Jackson looking to throw right away. Pass into the hands of Mark Andrews. And he didn't get much time to secure it as he takes a shot. Good job to even hang on through that catch there.
No, we changed it.
Pistol snap to Jackson. His pass is complete. That's Zay Flowers. And he's out of bounds just past, looks like the 40-yard line. They get 6 and a first down as well.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards. Offense in the hurry up here. Lamar out of the pistol. Andrews with the catch.
Yep, guys, there's the first team pass.
The Ravens take a 6-0 lead right away. Mark Andrews with the touchdown. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is.
Like, all I ask from a player is I don't care how they play, just don't act cocky and mess up on your extra points, celebrate. Like, I have players celebrate from the first kickoff they get. They're celebrating in their own end zone until my defense comes and tackles them. Not only do they risk fumbling it, but it's ridiculous, the disrespect.
He just sends it over the end zone. No threat of a return at all, but now they're going to spot the ball at the 30 to begin the drive. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Jones. The throw finds Evan Ingram. And he got this close to midfield.
I mean, look at how ridiculous it is. I have to audible to a play, to a money play like that.
And that's a Jaguar first down. One play in, and already they're close to midfield. Jones on first down. That chunk with a nice 20.
What did I not like on that play, guys? I did not know that foul was a choice or option route, right? I'm reading everything out. The only thing open is that guy, right? So, you know, what if there's a different defense out there? That's a pick.
First and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. 11, 21. 11.
The Jaguars are going to call their first time out. And after using an early one,
Right there, I believe I audible to a freaking quarterback, like a Jets, fake jet quarterback power. Like, what the fuck, dude? I need to take that out of my playbook. I do not use that, even if I have a mobile quarterback.
First and 10 now from the 30. Here's Travis Etienne on the ground. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. Everyone's prepped. It's second down now.
You got to remember when you have an RPO, that run's going to be a longer developing run play.
Operating from the gun, it's Jones.
Yep. I said it before. I said it right when I threw it.
Picked off by Tre'Davious.
Late on the throw.
And it's a pick six as he runs it in for the touchdown.
Excuses.
13 zip, Brock. They're going to be even happier knowing that multiple phases of their game contributed to this lead
But
early on.
players only care about results, though. They don't care how you get them. They only care about results.
For touchdown, but you can't script a better start.
I mean, it's so bad. Like, society is so bad now these days that people are starting to defend people who take steroids, right? You go in the comment sections of, like, a bodybuilding video or whatever, right? And you see people saying, oh, watch the comments say this guy's on steroids, right? When in the past, right, what did people used to do? They used to judge people taking steroids, right? Now we're defending people taking steroids, right? So a fat guy goes in the comment section, right, and says, oh, I bet he takes steroids, right? And in the past, we would probably agree with that guy, right? That fat guy in the comment section or whatever. But now it's like, oh, well, you're fat or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's where we've come to. See? I think he's running a wheel route.
Brandon Stevens has it. And the Ravens will be on the doorstep of the end zone as he is stopped just short of a pick six.
Oh, coaches just love that effort.
I forget it's on a wheel route. I know it's man coverage. And I throw it like it's, because it's one of the only things open on the play.
Pales in comparison to giving up the turnover. How about the effort on the other side, tracking them and stopping potential pick six?
Now, of course, I'll never go with a QB sneak or a fullback dive or whatever the bacon. And people probably think, like, I'm a bitch and won't run it from the 1 yard line. No, I won't do that because it's just too easy. But hey, I don't blame them. Like I said, they're trying to play smart and meaningless games. For them, this is a meaningful game. You know, they must be making money somehow. I don't know about. You know, they must be making money from these games here. I didn't go on an online website and match up with him to play for money. So.
That one right down the middle. And the Ravens push their lead to 21-zip already. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff.
Whoever's in the live stream, let me know how you feel, because like I said in the past, if you've been on my live streams, if you're looking to see wins and great football, this isn't the channel for you to come on and watch. Like I said, I'm playing with backups, doing A through Z series, because I only play with backups anyway. Because I was starting to get bored, and just playing with backups. So I was like, what could I do? Oh, I'll do a A through Z. I titled it A through Z series. And when you throw those screens, look at that. When you throw the screens, you never know how they're going to defend them. You never know if the computer is going to defend it. You never know, if a user's going to be on it. Look at that. Wow, it's the first quarter. This game picked me off like 2-3 times, and this game feels like it should be almost over. I'm so glad that option isn't like on yes. You know what I mean? I haven't seen that, whatchamacallit, like, where the game's asking you, would you like to concede early? I haven't seen that in what feels like hundreds of games. I'm surprised. Yeah, I think they only give it to you, like, I think they only show you that if you're, like, losing by 3-4 scores in, like, the first half or something.
Back for the second quarter. It's Jaguar football.
This guy does not know who we are.
Play fake with Jones. Puts some power on it deep
Like I said, I pick play calls in these games that any defense can defend. Oh, and it's fourth down. I didn't even know that was third. See? I mute everybody that I face, right? So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're not telling me I suck or I'm trash. Maybe they're saying, like, bro, your play calls suck. Like, I probably wouldn't be able to make them work. Yeah. Yeah. You could play cover 2 man, you could play cover 1 man, you could play cover 3, you could play cover 4, you could play cover 2, you could play cover 6, you could play anything against my plays. Anything. Oh yeah, fourth down. Forgot. That is crazy, yo, how I could forget that quick. I literally, that's how you probably know, like, probably have ADD or something. But if I have ADD, why am I undefeated in tournaments without a scheme? Because I didn't use a custom playbook. I mean, if I did, it wasn't better than what I have now. And people think I just have a loser's mentality or a loser's mindset. If I say I'm not trying, I should probably go to that hitch, right? Oh, nobody's playing him, so we'll go on and take a peek to that, right? Well, yeah, in a gotta-have-it situation, I have no problem with that. But they'll take that every single time. They'll take a peek to that every time. Why does that happen? I see that all the time. I mean, I don't see it as much in real games, but I see it in practice, right? I don't care what defense that is. Like, why when they throw a curl route, right? I thought it was only for, like, when you face tight ends, right? Where tight ends are unbumpable, right? So you'll see, like, when they use, like, plays with, like, spacings concepts, and they have a tight end on a spot or hitch, and then you have somebody on that tight end, right, playing it. And like, it looks like they're going to go and undercut it and pick it off, but then there's, like, this force field that's, like, pushing you back, right? I know I wasn't going to pick that off, and I knew he was going to catch it, but at the same time, why are we getting an animation where the defender, I don't care what defense it is, man, I don't care if it's deep third, I don't care what he's in, why are we seeing an animation where there's, like, this invisible force field? Like, because he didn't even touch the player, right? I could understand it if, he was trying to play the wide receiver closer behind him, and the wide receiver bodied him and basically pushed him with his back. But he's, like, He's like 3 or 4 yards behind that wide receiver, and there's like an invisible force shield or something, just like pushing him even more back. I can't believe the run's not working. But like I said, I'm not doing anything. No adjustments to make the run better. No adjustments. I'm not even calling my good run plays either. You know, I just get to the line and just audible at the most. Yeah, so it is. I don't understand how they're getting home. I mean, I faced the Ravens, right? I put in one of my challenge videos, right? I literally put the best players at every single position for. Holy shit, he must have played some fucked up defense, but nobody was there. Who knows? I haven't read his defense one time all game. Once again, for people in the live stream, you guys always leave. You make a wise decision, because if you're here to watch good football or win, you need to go somewhere else. Because I do not try in these games. If I won these games, it would not affect my channel or help me financially. Because I'm not doing anything to grow my channel, basically. You know, I'm not putting great titles for my videos. I'm not making great thumbnails. I'm not, you know, I could very easily look on how to do that. I'm not trying to improve my channel. Could I come back in this game? You know, I mean, I would say no, because I haven't read his defense all game. I haven't read his offensive formation all game. I haven't tried adjustments for stopping anything. I haven't tried my blocking adjustments. Like I said, I haven't. And that's not the reason why they're getting to me. Because I'm not doing my blocking adjustments. That's not the reason. You know, maybe I call play actions, or because I'm going through my reads, you know, from left to right. You know, going through all my reads, you know, I gotta say, that's a bullshit tackle. You know what I'm saying? How do you tackle Derrick Henry like that? And one thing I don't understand, like, listen, I am unbiased. How the fuck does a guy, any running back, anybody get tackled like that? It's ridiculous. I call bullshit on that. I'm sorry. Minimal adjustments here. I'm not trying to stop the run. And you know, people don't want to hear excuses. They want results. You know. You know, like, because here's what happens, right? You play an opponent, right? You play a game, then you face a different opponent. In one game, right, I could make my opponent quit. I could beat their ass or whatever from not trying, or trying, like, you know, very little, right? And just calling good play calls, and then just, like, taking my time at the play call screen on defense, you know. To actually read their personnel to match up. I'm not saying you're going to stop stuff just because you match up. It's on them, you know. But bro, there should only be one viewer on my live stream, because I know who one of them is. Everybody else should leave. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not even using my money plays, guys. You know what I mean? Would I ever when I'm playing meaningful games or tournament games, would I ever let this happen? Oh no, I'm undefeated in tournaments. Nobody's even been close to beating me in tournaments.
Now Jones. Gets this one in the hands of Christian Kirk.
See,
Down just shy of the 40.
I could have put a flea flicker out here. I could have put a double pad.
That's halftime of this contest.
I'm not saying it would have worked, but better than that, right? And I know it's man coverage. I know it's cover 2 man. Like I said, with the times that I have tried in these games, I've had games where I was losing, like, you know, not 3 scores, but yeah, kind of like 3 scores, right? Like, not like 17, not like 3 touchdowns, but 21-9 or something, right? Supposedly I was talking shit, right? Because I talk like this. I tell my opponent, I'm not trying, playing with backups. I don't use a scheme. I don't run the ball. I'm one-dimensional. I don't adjust. I don't, you know, study my opponent's tendencies, try to manipulate his user. I don't do my blocking adjustments. I don't read the defense, all this and that, you know. My spin is good. I don't know. What the hell's going on? It's not like I'm running in the pocket, because I know what that does if you run in the pocket. You would think I was running in the pocket.
Another try following the sack. He goes down again. And the back-to-back sacks.
Hey, I played with the worst offensive line, guys. I mean, I don't need to do my blocking adjustments if they're only rushing 3 or 4. I don't need to. I played with the Dolphins, who have only 1 good offensive line.
Jones looking to throw. Fits it through the middle.
That could have been 4th down. I don't even know.
He's got a huge gain and a first down. Slated downs to a
But once again, I'm banking on that being open, right? Like I said, if they defend that, everything's covered on that play. Look at my play call all game long.
first down throw by Jones.
All game long. And right here, I'm usually getting picked off because I'm trying on 1st down. I don't know what down it ever is, right? So I play every single down like it's 3rd or 4th down. And what happens? Nobody's open. There might be somebody open crossing my face, crossing the field, and I end up trying to force that one, knowing I have a backup quarterback. Or not remembering I have a backup quarterback. I don't even know if I used that play already in this game. I look at that as like a money play because it's ridiculous. Like, they have to be in man coverage to shut that play down. It's bullshit, honestly, how this game is. And I don't know what happened with Travis Etienne, but, you know, he was a superstar X Factor, and I know this because I never played with the Jaguars because of that, you know. My God, dude. How many times have I done that in the past? That's what I'm saying. Nobody's open, right? It was probably 1st down. I don't know. Don't know what down it was. 1st or 2nd down. If it's a tournament game, I'm not doing that. And like I said, I have players who throw 7 to 11 picks in a game. I've never, you know, in the past when I cared about winning games, I would try everything to stop my opponent in this situation. It's like, some players are probably like, have some backbone, man. Like, you're telling me you're not trying, you're letting your opponent score? Like, bro, when you've been beat 110 plus to like 35 or 40 points because you played on an Xbox, that you never played an Xbox ever in your life, like 15, 20 years ago? Yeah, I mean, if I didn't care when I was playing on an Xbox that I never played before, which is like the ultimate excuse, not knowing what button does what, and I still didn't quit, I mean, you think I'm going to care? Not even reading the front. It's so bad, like, I'm not reading anything. I'm not reading the D-line. I'm not reading the second level. I'm not reading the shell. I'm not reading nothing. How bad it is.
Throwing from the gun. Short pass brought in. Decent gain here, but
For the new random people on my live stream, if you want to watch wins, go somewhere else. Do not try in these games. But if you want to leave a comment, try and troll me. Tell me I suck. Tell me I'm trash. I'd love to hear it. Because that's how the world seems to be. I've never said that in any video game. Like, I don't know what games I played online. Let's see. NBA 2K. Haven't played that in a minute. Call of Duty. Madden. GTA. I never said anybody sucked or anybody was trash. I just assume that's what people say. You know. Here's the other part about it, right? I go through my reads, right? A seam pass, a corner, and a post. Players could stare it down, right? Me, every one of those routes is my fourth or fifth option. One of my last options, right? So if I'm doing that and those were actually open, guess what? You know. It's ridiculous, bro. Brian, whatever his name is. Brian, what's his name? Brian, I'm trying to see his fucking name. Oh shit, what is his name? Oh, Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah. I looked at his attributes. I'm like, bro, first of all, how are you a superstar with an 82 overall? Right? Like, how is him and Malik Neighbors superstars with 82 or 83 overall? You know? Yep. Like I said, I'm not looking for where the user is. I'm not looking to manipulate the user. I'm not picking good play calls. I'm not reading the defense. I'm not doing my blocking adjustments. Please stop making it long developing from fucking RPO. Can we just have like a button to press that we can just like, you know, it's ridiculous because they could literally run quarters and they could probably stop it because of how long developing it is. I was going to say, watch it be a drop. I've had players too, like, clap their hands when I score on my last drive of the game or whatever. Oh, congratulations, you finally scored. It's like, bro, I'm not trying regardless. You could shut me out. If you don't, that's on you. And I hold that because I know man coverage. Or I know it's just I'm gonna get it over the top. Please leave, bro. I'm pretty sure I know who you are. I know you're trying to, yeah, I know you're a fan, but you should not be on here. And I frankly don't care because most of the people who would be watching this, except for one person, would probably be on the side of my opponent. They'd probably do anything to win games, whether they're meaningful or not. I mean, hey, anybody wants to win, right? Everybody's going to try to win, whether you're playing a game on your Roku TV, Android phone, console, whatever, but there's a difference. There's a difference between trying, you know, and, you know, and trying everything. And then I had players tell me, oh, I'm not trying either. You know, you're not trying either. Okay? Listen, you have a scheme. You use money plays. You're running a ball. You're playing smart. You know, all those things. You know. I said this when I first started this. When I first started playing with backups 3-4 years ago, I said, I do not try these games I do not care if somebody tells me I suck or I'm trash.
It's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And it's going to be second down.
I think if you look up game phase in the defensive encyclopedia,
And it's not enough to have a few people agree with me.
he was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release.
What do you think
Exactly
players
after the
use?
throw. It's
I mean,
incomplete.
I face nothing but elite teams, right? What do you think they use them?
Buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with his throw.
But they still have to play a certain way with those players, with those teams. Like I'm playing with backups, right? And I don't play a certain way. I used to play with punters, for crying out loud, at quarterback, getting 6 touchdowns sometimes, 4+ hundred yards. Some people might think, oh, yeah, right. I have video proof of it on my channel. Anybody can go and see them. I faced teams like the Ravens, Chiefs, with punters, and beat those teams with punters. Not just beat them, just made them quit, beat them by 5 to 7 touchdowns. Yeah. So, like, look at this. Look at, like I said, I'm literally picking the first page of coaching suggestions. The most I can do is audible, do a good play, but I'm going so quick that I'm just keeping the play and going through my reads. Don't know what down the distance it is. Don't know how much time I have left. Don't know the own routes on my play. I'm not the one in my own live stream, I know. So. Yep. Oh, 4th down again. Yep, like I said. 4th down again. I don't risk that. Pre-snap, I always say, offensively, what would you do defensively? Well, you're trying to play something like cover 3 hard flats, cover 2 invert hard flats, cover 2 hard flats, stuff like that. You want them to make the, if it's inches, you want them to make the deeper throw, you know? Like I said, they still want to keep scoring. Alright, that's the 3rd game of the day too. 3rd game of the night, so I'm not going to play another one. It is what it is. Bro, I know who you are. Like, don't be shy. You know, talk, say something. There's no one that would be in my live stream this long watching a game like this. Still trying to score. No respect. I don't ever celebrate. I don't ever talk trash. I don't ever try to run up the score. I don't know what it is. Whenever I play like 3 games, like in the past years ago, when I was younger, I used to be able to literally play 16 hours. I'd be playing MUT. That's why I don't play MUT anymore. That's just too addicting. And when I went back to playing MUT, it was like, oh, I'm not playing as much. But then it was like literally, I went back to all my, you know, when I didn't work, I would be playing literally from the moment I woke up, and I just go down, eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, boom, back on the game, you know. MUT was so addicting because of the whole like team building aspect of it, and then really was the auctions trying to, not even like, nobody should really care about microtransactions or winning auctions, but basically I would have auctions of players that I wanted, and I would try to win the players. I would put alarms on my phone if I needed players at key positions for month, or backup players, whatever it was, and you know, and I just love that aspect of it. Like I wouldn't care what game it was. If there's an auction in a game, I love that aspect of it. Like Monopoly, you know, I just love that aspect. Auction, trying to win stuff at a cheaper price. But we're talking about a video game. Yeah, I mean, you can see this my record. I played like 15 games in the past week, and my record is probably like 3-12 or something, you know. But the games that I get beat badly, it's usually players who are running the ball, using stretch, mixing it up, blah blah blah. I know how to defend everything, right? But here's the thing. I have somebody else in the live chat. So here's the thing, right? Here's what players will do, right? I call them lazy, right? But it's also smart because, okay, let's say your opponent's under center, you think they're gonna run it, right? You could use big fronts and still have certain plays to defend stuff deep downfield. You could play 4-6 cover 2 invert. You can play 4-6 cover 3 match. You could play cover 2 man from certain fronts, 3-4, 4-3. You can play cover 2s. You can play cover 4. And then you just try to like key in on certain routes underneath or whatever. You just basically see how they're trying to attack. Are they trying to attack with corners, or do they seem to be running the same pass concepts? But when you are literally playing like on autopilot, right? You're not even like, all you see is a running back behind the quarterback, their offensive line, and if you're not, and then you're reading basically how many receivers they have, where they're lined up, and then you do your adjustments from there. If you are not matching up before they come out to the huddle, I mean, imagine if, that's why I find it fascinating with real football, where, teams don't know, or there is like a certain amount of time, obviously, but teams sometimes don't know what personnel they're going to use, right? They don't know if they're going to be under center and go with like a strong formation, like a I form or goal line formation. Have 3 tight ends on the field to run the ball, or have offensive linemen in there eligible to catch the pass, or to be there for extra blocking in the run game, in the pass game, whatever, play action, screen game, whatever. So they sometimes have to like put big nickel out there, or they stay in base. They'll take out one line. A lot of teams want to run like, they'll just literally take out one linebacker and put a bigger guy, like, basically big nickel or nickel, whatever, because they're not sure what's coming. And then from there, they adjust, and a lot of teams will just stay in base or stay in like nickel or whatever, and just think, okay, we're just gonna like make it work. Or based off to what the down and distance is, they're thinking like, oh, maybe our opponent, or we game plan for our opponent, and they like to run it on first and second down. It's a Sean McVay offense. They like to, no matter what, you're playing a Sean McVay offense. Certain offenses, they're gonna want to be under center. They're gonna want to be in certain formations. They're gonna want to motion certain players and, try to use misdirection and run inside runs, toss plays, fake jets, stuff like that. So it's basically like, okay, you're facing that type of offense. Some teams will go to a 5-man front, 5-2s. They're facing a more pass-heavy offense that rarely uses their running backs or running game out of it. So they'll just be a nickel or dime, and then they just like put certain coverages out there. Then you have certain teams that only run a certain coverage. So, that's why I never understood why teams like the Seahawks, you knew that they basically played one high. They basically played cover 3. And so many teams could not beat them. And I get it. They had great safeties. One great safety, elite safety. They had, basically they were really deep at corner. And then they were pretty decent when it came to stopping the run just from their front. That they didn't have to they could play cover 3, but they didn't have to really invest much in stopping the run. That team could literally shut a team down like my Eagles. They could shut Saquon Barkley down, and you think A.J. Brown's gonna do much against Richard Sherman? You think Devonta Smith would have done much? I mean, he probably would have been the better of the two going against the Legion of Boom, because Smith's, in my opinion, an elite route runner, and he should be used differently. He should be used like you put him in the slot sometimes, move him around, motion him, like use like choice or option routes with Smith, stuff like that. But I never understood why most offenses could not attack the Seahawks. Like what you're gonna face with them. Why not I don't know. I just don't know why they couldn't attack certain sides of the field or attack certain corners or they were pretty fucking good everywhere. The linebacker, the LBs were good with tight ends. The front was great at stopping the run. They played cover 3. They had an elite safety, an elite corner, an elite linebacker, a great D-line with great depth, behind the starters. So, I understand that, but there's still motion, there's still ways to scheme players open. How are you not scheming players open? You know what I mean? I never understood that. I'm done.